So, meine Freunde, damit herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Divinity Originale Sünde. Wir sind mittlerweile endlich in Jägerschneide und auch im letzten Abschnitt des Spiels. Und ja.
Well, by the boot soles of Burl Boonhammer, what have we here?
Another human in Hunter's Edge. State your business, whelp.
Alter. Wir sind Makellose, die aus Silbertal geschickt wurden, um euch zu unterstützen.
Hail, Immaculate. By the sickle of Tyr Gutgouger, I'm glad to see another human face here in Hunter's Edge. Not yet another misshapen orcish snout.
If you fancy keeping that human face of yours, I wouldn't take my cues from the chief of the mountain apes. I may have sworn to refrain from carving my name across his back, but yours, I do believe, is free for the taking.
Regular ray of sunshine, isn't she? Don't let her manners fool you, though. Her disposition may be dark, but her wit is bright. Bright and devious. Believe me when I tell you that she's plotting against us as we speak, and would have long given the order to spill our blood if she wasn't leashed by the orders of the conduit herself. But by the shield of the Stormbringer, she'll not outfox the sworn brothers of Tannaroth. And I sincerely hope she won't outfox the likes of you either. You belong to the Silverglen tribe, I take it. Thought you were all holed up in Hiberheim, but it pleases me to see some of your number have come to Hunter's Edge. Yes, an outsider not as yet distrusted by the orcs is exactly what I need in the matter of the missing bloodstones and the matter of the wizard's house. But let's talk in my headquarters over yonder, for by the beard of the bear slayer there are too many green ears around here.
Ja, dann machen wir das mal am besten, ne? Wir werden die voll gegeneinander ausspielen hier.
Best not to get on her bad side. You know that.
Yeah, but her orders don't cure my fever.
Then go and find yourself a...
These big green goons certainly can't handle their alcohol. Give them a sip of something fine and they're useless.
Oh. Wollen wir die besoffen machen?
That old ratcatcher calls himself king, but there can be only one.
Ach, jetzt sind wir hier.
Yeah, check. Go on.
Ja, wo ist denn der Typ jetzt? Da.
May your sword never sully, and your shield never shatter.
Lasst uns über die fehlenden Blutsteine sprechen.
This is taking bloody
The
ages.
bloodstones are the reason we came here in the first place. The conduit has need of starstones imbued with human blood, so she can create her death knights. Both the Brotherhood and the Orcs were given their share of stones, and we filled them to the brim with blood, then stored them for the conduit to collect when she returns from Phantom Forest. Last night, though, someone raided this very building and disappeared with our stones. They were being guarded by Garrick Giantbane, a son of the mountain had in trust with my life. Grutilda says he ran off with the bloodstones, that he is a betrayer to the cause of Immaculates. But I know this to be untrue. The Orcs stole the stones. Of that I'm certain. Grutilda is hatching some plan, and we'll all be in dire straits indeed if it comes to fruition. Those stones make her powerful. Too powerful. We need them back. But every orc eyes us, peak dwellers, with suspicion. That is why I ask of you to find proof. Proof that it was an orc that did the deed. Once I have it, I have a reason to assault the orcs without risking the wrath of the conduit. She'll not stand for theft among Immaculates. So find me that proof, and we'll slaughter the orcs together.
Wer seid ihr?
I am Jahrl Woodachson, father among brothers, son among the mountains. Me and mine hail from the snow-capped heights of ᴳᴱᴿᴹᴬᴺ, the very thrones of the world. Our lives are devoted to the hunt. Every town and every city we find, we plunder and burn and put to the sword. Sacrifices are they all to the might of the mountains, tokens of reverence to the power of the peaks. Gods we have plenty, of war, of death and of victory. But now, a goddess we have too. Aye, we have seen the workings of Bloodstone, and loyal are we to she who unites in blood. By the teeth of Jahrl Wolfjaw, as immaculate shall we rule the world.
Also irgendwie glaube ich, das sind, diese Bergarbeiter sind so ein Abschnitt, so eine Version von Wikingern irgendwie.
The conduit asked us to do what we do best. Invade and destroy. She set us on our way with a store of starstones, ready to be charged and, once made into bloodstones, sent to you folks in the mines of Luculla.
Best not to get on her bad side.
We know Grutilda's dogs had beat us there by a half day, but no matter. There were still plenty of strays to be caught and bled by the time we arrived. Now all that's left is finding a way into the wizard's house. The conduit's looking for something inside. Now we're here waiting for further orders from the conduit herself. She's gone into the Phantom Forest nearby, but we expect to hear from her shortly. I only hope we'll have the matter of the missing bloodstones sorted by then. I'll not have a soul saying we're the mountain failed to follow through.
With me, I can feel it.
The orcs? No, I respect their warlike nature, for it's like ours. I respect their lust for slaughter, for we share it with them. I respect their loyalty to their leader, for I am likewise respected by my brothers. But when push comes to shove, I'd flay them all, wear their skins, and never rest until the very last one of them lay at my feet with my broadaxe nestling in its belly. Why, you may ask? Why hate them when you and them are so alike? So it is with the Sworn of ᴳᴱᴿᴹᴬᴺ, and so it is with the orcs of the wild. One day the battle must be. One day we will feast or be feasted upon. Grutilda is worshipped like a goddess by her troops, and she rules like a deity too. All-knowing, all-powerful and merciless. She's smart and ruthless, truly an opponent to be feared. Exactly the kind of opponent I like. The conduit was wise to go to the orcs with promises of allegiance, for they are a force that few in Rivellon can withstand. But she also knows that the pack cannot last. She's well aware the orcs will eventually go their own way, be they sworn immaculates or not. She needn't fear them, of course. The conduit is constructing an army of warriors even the orcs behold with dread. But it is we brothers of the mountains that may have to bear the brunt of their onslaught when things go sour. Grutilda knows the pack was never meant to last. She understands she's being used as a battering ram, as a tool to breach the gates and clear the path to triumph, only to be discarded by its operators when the true prize is in sight. She knows, and she's plotting her revenge. I can stand with the spine breaker at her side. It's a terrible nightmare she's concocted.
Rückenbrecher?
Grutilda's hulking, horrible dog, built like a brick house and with a mind as black as pitch. There's no indignity he wouldn't inflict on any man, woman, or child his mistress marked.
Na toll.
Grutilda stores him above the tavern and sends him playthings one at a time. A sentence worse than death. Aye, an orc so vile it has taken rats for pets. They swarm about him like fleas do the rest of his kind, but even they eye him with disgust. Nevertheless, it's my belief that unlike the other males among the orcs, he's no fool. He's a spy, a discoverer of secrets, Right now he's looking for the lost wizard servants, and gods protect them if he finds them.
I told her it was a mistake to kill all the women alongside the men.
We would merely kill them. That rat lover on the other hand. Where we go, death is the horror that looms behind us. Where he goes, death is a mercy always out of reach.
You haven't bothered?
I don't know much about him, to be frank, and I don't care to. The conduit says he's in possession of an artifact she needs, which is why we've been trying to gain entry to his house. But by the boots of our troll tramper, the key hasn't been forged yet that will unfasten the magical seals that encase that bedeviled sorcerer's abode. The deal is this. When we attacked Hunter's Edge, we and the orcs had the village completely surrounded to ensure no one could escape. The plan was a good one, for only some blacksmith and his wife managed to flee after their little demon of a pet bit an orc's arm off. The wizard and his servants eluded us, but we know that the servants at least are still hiding somewhere around town. We need to find those damn people so they can tell us how to gain entry to the wizard's house. My men have been searching the village non-stop, and the orcs have put their rat herder on the job. But we also have some surviving villagers holed up down in the cellar. An orc torturer, courtesy of Grutilda, has been trying to find out where the servants are hiding, but has no finesse whatsoever, and almost instantly kills his victims. We've offered to do it for him, but Grutilda remains adamant he's the best of the best. Maybe you'd have better luck, though, if you're up for a spot of torture.
I'll win this one. Cheers.
This whisk must be Xander's. Thankfully, these bloodthirsty brutes haven't found him yet.
Let's hope we catch up with him before they do.
Hey, conduit sword.
Great grim gods, comrade. The spine breaker. ᴳᴱᴿᴹᴬᴺ, he's called. He's the bleeding brute. The green-faced gargoyle who... I must face him. Face him and destroy him before he can claim another victim.
Oh Mann.
Finally, 7 o'clock.
Let's get the ball rolling here. 5 coins.
Habt Geduld, wir dürfen unsere Tarnung nicht für einen persönlichen Rachefeldzug aufgeben.
Personal vendetta. Is that what you call aiming to smite a monster whose own name is Spinebreaker? Comrade, I want that orc to pay for what he's done, but...
Das Problem ist, dass ein Ork, der Rückenbrecher heißt, wahrscheinlich nicht gerade sanft mit uns umgehen wird. Das kann ich mir nicht vorstellen. Oder was auch immer das für ein Vieh sein soll. Ich weiß noch nicht mal, ob es ein Ork ist. Wahrscheinlich ist es irgendein Dämon-Monster-Vieh. Darf ich da rein? Alter, was ist denn hier los? Was sind denn das für Fußdinger? Hey.
Oh, a new immaculate face in town. What a pleasure to serve you. I've a deal running now. Double the whiskey for any and all who refrain from beating me from the neck up and the crotch down. Now there's a man apart from the rest, even among their kind. He's a strange sort. Nurses the same flagon of whiskey for an hour and sits in the corner by himself. Oh, but the lack of company don't keep him from making conversation. Always muttering beneath his sour breath he is, but arguing some point of his left hands against the better sense of the right.
Den werden wir uns mal anschauen. Wo ist denn der? Falls der überhaupt jetzt hier ist. Oh. Goblins auch hier.
Goodness. Is supper already upon us? I'd hope for something with considerably less gristle, but I suppose you'll do. Leader. A word that hardly suffices. I lead them as far as the head leads the body. They serve me and live in service to me. I am their all-mother, the beginning and end of their very lives. I am loved by them. I am craved by them. I choose from among them he who pleases me, and I destroy the rest. The orcs of this tribe are executors of my will, no more. Naturally, there are few finer pleasures than standing before the fruits of one's labor. A stack of gold and goods to one side, and sopping sinews and bone to the other. Ah, divine. I've developed a particular affinity for tenebrium of late. The sheen of it rather pleases the eye. My boys know not to keep a shard of the stuff from me. Consider this your warning too. Miserable, you say? I quite like it. Save the altogether hideous pink apes infesting the place. But exterminating them was a rather titillating diversion, I must admit. The townsfolk here were no different from those in the north. The larger ones beg me to spare the smaller ones. The smaller ones bleat like lambs for the larger ones. Yet they each squeal just the same when you split their piggy skin from nose to navel. Yes, I dare say the wizard won't be so pleased with himself for evading us when he returns. His servants' entrails will be wreathed among his grapevines, and the rest of the villagers are already hacking away in the tenebrium mines. Undead drones bent in service to the conduit. Our conduit didn't describe every detail of her plan to her mold-eyed pets in the mines. Well, no matter. It hardly concerns you, unless you can break the enchantments protecting his house. But that's a matter of magic, not the erotic virtues of your mother's rot-rancid corpse. I doubt anyone from Silverglen will be of use. So it seems, but even the cleverest magician cannot conceal his tricks forever. The wizard may have fled, but he left a passel of servants behind. Servants I very much doubt will be immune to the charms of my screws and cleavers. But how very obvious! Who better than a cow to bring a frightened calf back into the herd? Surely you and that bootlicker's sensibility of yours ought to have an insight or two into where a servant might seek sanctuary. Our rat catcher, regrettably, seems to be in need of some direction in the matter. One of my boys, in love with one of Jahrl's. Perhaps the All-Mother ought to investigate this matter personally. Nothing sets an orc on the straight and narrow like the humble ear of his sovereign and sworn mistress, after all.
Ja, aber wenigstens haben wir jetzt Sympathie bekommen.
I need to dry off.
Oh.
Grutilda doesn't tell you a thing, does she? We're waiting to fight the final battle. The time is nearly nigh.
Das wird wahrscheinlich sehr böse ausgehen jetzt.
My kingdom for a dry shirt.
You there, boy. Can it be true? You claim to love this human scum?
No, Mother. I only have eyes for you. Of course.
Do not lie to your all-mother, or she'll use your esophagus for a leg warmer.
I didn't mean to. I couldn't help it.
So you admit to this affair?
Oh.
Yes, Mother.
Then we have the truth. Very good. As for this transgression, I trust that in the last several moments you've realized your terrible error.
Yes, Mother. Terrible errors, never to be repeated.
And I suppose I can trust you never to so much as glance at this worm-fleshed fool again?
Yes, Mother, of course.
As I thought. Then, look, calm yourself. The All-Mother cannot tolerate such blunt.
Excuse me. I'm just overcome with your kindness. Thank you, All-Mother. Thank you.
Disgusting, traitorous filth.
Perfekt. Er denkt sich auch,
Thought you said it was me who pocketed it.
Into the fray once more. I prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
Check these puppies out.
Feeling hot under the collar.
The game's mine. Nice undercard, someone.
Did someone leave an oven door open?
You're just a human, an ismdorf, as we say. Same word we use.
Never rains, but it pours, eh?
Don't talk to the small-bones, brother. It only makes eating them all this pleasant later.
Goodness. Is supper already upon us? I'd hope for something. The deer has certainly earned his moniker. ᴳᴱᴿᴹᴬᴺ is my best boy, the pinnacle of orcish devotion. His child's mind and brick-hard arms make him the perfect soldier. Whatever I say, ᴳᴱᴿᴹᴬᴺ will do, and with a gleeful smile upon his simple face all the while. It would do you well not to cross me, whelp. For if I tire of dealing with you, I'll simply have you sent upstairs to the Spinebreaker. He knows just what to do with the toys Mummy Dearest sends him. I've had the pleasure of making his acquaintance. Careful. He was only just released from the hangman's cells. What was the case? Ah, yes. I believe he ordered his rats to chew out the tongues of every last infant within a Western Orcish tribe. An answer to some insult or other from the tribe's All-Mother. Or so I heard. He's dangerous, yes, and quite mad. But I'd trust him with my own neck. There's not an orc in Rivellon that would dream of crossing Grutilda, no matter how mad.
na ja, dann.
Of a child. A monster like that.
And here I was thinking you'd relate perfectly well to a childlike master.
What is it, monkey face? The All-Mother won't tolerate your distracting her right hand. She is the sun and the moon, the mother of all.
Alles klar, lassen wir den einfach mal labern.
What a deluge.
Oh, my augur's flame kindles at your approach. In anything and everything left behind by vermin after we've exterminated them. And I must say, some of these roaches have mighty fine
Fähigkeitenbuch des
taste.
Stolperns.
The All-Mother chooses first from
Schlägt
among
ein
the
Ziel nieder.
spoils, and the rest she grants to us to use or turn to profit.
Meteorschlag. Schriftrolle der Wiederbelebung ist eigentlich cool. Kostet auch nur 100. Ich glaube, davon werde ich mir mal 2 Stück holen. Aber die anderen, die kosten natürlich wieder gefühlt 5000. Wiederbelebung haben wir schon. Bande der Pein. Markiert ein Ziel, das für 3 Runden den gleichen Schaden erhält, den ihr erleidet. Cool. Ist natürlich aber auch wieder Meister, ne? Ich bin mir jetzt nicht sicher, Leute, aber ich glaube, das ist Frontkämpfer, genau. Auf geht's. Stolpern. Das haben wir schon, wie gesagt, das haben wir schon. Meteorschlag brauchen wir jetzt, glaube ich, auch nicht unbedingt. Okay. 2500. So, das kann direkt dann nehme ich mal hier. Warte, wir teilen das mal ein bisschen auf, am besten. Und kann hier nicht. Ja. An die Heimstätte senden? Okay. Bande der Pein. Alter Wälzer über die Beherrschung des Körpers. Was zum Teufel habe ich jetzt davon? Vielleicht einen Fähigkeitenpunkt? Habe ich den jetzt bekommen dadurch? Konstitution. Let's go. Kann die das benutzen jetzt? Natürlich nicht. Wir müssen mehr Frontkämpfer haben. Alter, wir müssen mindestens Stufe 5 sein, glaube ich, ne? Obwohl, ich kann ab Stufe 4 ein Ding der Stufe Meister machen. Das ist ja auch Meister. Wir rücken darüber von euch. Naja, wissen wir ja Bescheid dann. Das nächste Mal muss die Frontkämpfer auf jeden Fall leveln. So Leute, ich würde sagen, wir haben jetzt eine halbe Stunde hier drin verbracht. Ich glaube, wir gehen mal wieder Richtung Wildnis. Oh, und urplötzlich hat es aufgehört zu regnen. Komisch. So, meine Freunde, aber ich würde sagen, wir machen jetzt erstmal einen kleinen Cut an der Stelle. Dann machen wir im nächsten Part weiter. Bedanke ich mich fürs Zuschauen und dann geht's zum nächsten Part weiter. Danke. Haut rein. Cool.